Welcome to episode 5 of the Breeders' Cup Rundown Show. Well, we've made it. We are here at Keeneland and the build-up starts right now. This place is sensational and I've only just got here, but I already can't wait for racing to begin. Now, as you can see, we are right next to the track, and one of the trainers who will have lots of horses running in the Breeders' Cup is Mr. Todd Pletcher, and we caught up with his assistant trainer, Amelia Green, about their contenders.
The Breeders' Cup's special because it brings all these countries together, so you know you're competing with the world's best horses at the distance your horse is running at. So obviously when you win one of those races, you like to think you've competed against the best in the world. But it's nice to get the Breeders' Cup back here this year and have fans and a crowd, as opposed to 2020 where obviously it was COVID, nobody could come. And it's nice that the farms are 5 minutes down the road, so say after the Breeders' Cup, we have Happy Saver and Life is Good retiring, and they'll get on a van and literally go 5 minutes down the road and that'll be their new careers. Annapolis won the Shadwell Mile.
It is Annapolis in front. It is Annapolis to win.
First time against older horses, and yeah, he showed them it doesn't matter being a 3-year-old running against the older boys. He's a big boy now. We were obviously very confident going into that race. He's always trained good and he's always ran good. I think as long as he finished respectably in that race, the plan was the Breeders' Cup, but obviously it's nice to win a win and you're in and know that you don't have to worry about fees, and he automatically has a spot no matter who else enters in that race. But he's a very professional horse. Wherever you take him, he's very easy to be around, very easy to gallop. He takes everything in his stride and a new track doesn't seem to faze him or bother him. He's not a horse that spooks or looks at things, so he took it in his stride. This is Forte. He won the Breeders' Futurity Win and You're In race for the Juvenile.
And they're off.
He's always been a very impressive horse. He's always, the way he trains in the morning, he acts and trains like distance was never going to be an issue, and the further you go, the better he will go.
Loggins and Forte and Loggins, and it is Forte!
And luckily, so far, he's proved that he not needs more distance, but he definitely appreciates more distance. And yeah, he can go 2 turns. To be a 2-year-old in October and already be a 2-time Grade 1 winner, that's a pretty big feat in itself. We're fully aware he's going to develop into a really nice 3-year-old, so next year is obviously a big goal in what he does next year, and everyone wants a Derby horse. But while he's doing well and running well, you're obviously going to aim for the Breeders' Cup, and if you can get them to the Breeders' Cup, then why not? Malathat, she's just an absolute angel. Everyone in the barn loves her. She's just sweet as can be. You could stand here all day. She's never going to bite you. She's not got a mean bone in her body. She loves people, loves her job. She's just a pleasure to be around in every way. Yeah, I mean, she's her whole career held her own against these top mares that always seem to run against each other, and that's the good thing about them all. They all seem to run against each other, and I'd like to think most of the time she comes out on top. It would be nice to do it again one more time, but the spinster win against Latruska was nice to show.
No catching, Malathat winning the Juddmonte Spinster for John Velasquez.
Obviously, I'm pretty sure she's retiring after this race, so it will be just nice to end a career with that Breeders' Cup win. You know, she's an older mare and she can still do it, and she's still just as talented as she was when she won the Oaks at 3. Like I say, she's just an absolute angel. She's got such a character, and we'll miss her in the barn when she leaves, that's for sure. Obviously, I feel very lucky to be able to ride these horses every day. They're extremely talented horses, and yeah, I don't take it for granted at all. You feel very proud when they run good and when they're showing themselves on the biggest stage. Yeah, it's a very proud moment, and I'm more happy for the horses than myself, because you get to ride them every day and you feel the ability they have every day, but when they go out there in the races and show everybody the ability you get to feel every day, it's a really nice feeling.
Now behind me are the jockeys' quarters, and I want to take you back to 2015 when Victor Espinoza made this exact walk before he won on the incredible, iconic and heroic American Pharaoh. We caught up with him at his home in California to hear what that experience was truly like.
A Triple Crown winner, a Breeders' Cup winner, a horse of a lifetime!
I rode a lot of amazing horses, but American Pharoah is one of the top horses that I ever owned. I mean, you can't take anything away from the horse. With a good horse like American Pharoah is not coming along very often. When I won the Classic, I was in Keeneland. Before the race, I was very confident in that race because I know that I pretty much ride the best horse in the race. So you just count the days, and the days come, and the next time you count the hours. I just want him to, get there to the race. By the time it gets to the race, that we're here now, and this is it. Especially when I was in the paddock. When I saw him just walking in the paddock, outstanding. He looks amazing. It's just no way that this horse is gonna get beat.
With a call of the Breeders' Cup Classic, here's Larry Colmus. They're off in the Breeders' Cup Classic.
He's going for the Breeders' Cup Classic. It's not just any race, right? And have that much confidence in the horse. It's kind of hard to explain that feeling as a jockey, because I know when he has that power and the accelerator is so quick, it's like a wave, like it goes through you like nothing.
As they head for the far turn, American Pharoah's lead is 1.5 lengths. And now Victor Espinosa starts to pump on him and says, let's go. And
when they get to that speed, there's no way, like I said, any other horses that got near him, impossible for it to keep up with him.
He's got a 6-length lead as they come to the wire. A Triple Crown winner, a Breeders' Cup winner, a horse of a lifetime. American Pharoah has won the Breeders' Cup Classic. American Pharoah, his legacy as one of racing's all-time greats is assured with a dominating victory in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Wow.
Thank you, Victor.
Perfect. That was amazing.
That was amazing.
Well, what an incredible horse he was, but let's take it back to present day and welcome to the post-position draw. I'm here at the Rupp Arena, home of Kentucky's college basketball, for the post-position draw. Let's see who is dealt a good hand in the quest for a Breeders' Cup trophy. First up, we had the Filly and Mare Sprint, with Cece, last year's winner, securing position 4, whilst Japan's only chance, Chain of Love, is sitting pretty in 6. Then we have the Turf Sprint, with Highfield Princess, who we heard all about in a previous episode, securing position 6, and will face a stiff test against the likes of Golden Pal, bidding to pick up his 3rd Breeders' Cup trophy. The Big Ass Fans Dirt Mile sees Cyberknife lining up in position 9 after choosing to avoid the Classic. Who can blame him when you have Flightline to contend with? In the Filly and Mare Turf, one of Europe's top contenders, Nashwa, looks set fair in position 3, but she will face some task to overcome some impressive American fillies. The Breeders' Cup Sprint sees the multiple Group 1 winning Jackie's Warrior drawn awkwardly wide, which might just open the door for American Thoroughbred American Theorem. That looks like an interesting race. A full field for the FanDuel Mile sees 2021 Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf winner Modern Games looking to go back-to-back at the World Championships. But the likes of Kinross and Regal Glory might just have something to say. Off the back of a shock in last year's DISTAFF, will we see a long shot winner this year, or will Nest prove too powerful out of position 6? The penultimate race of the weekend, the Breeders' Cup Turf, well, for me this is anyone's race, but Warlike Goddess coming out of position 2 looks promising. Will this draw play a part for anyone? Finally, the Breeders' Cup Classic. Position 4 for Flightline. He has to win this race, doesn't he? Well, Epicenter and Life is Good are certain not to go down without a fight. This is looking incredibly exciting. Well, what a first day for me here at the Breeders' Cup. It really is a hub of activity and the racing hasn't even started yet. The draw is complete and I'm wondering who's coming away the happiest and who might be rethinking their strategy. I'm really looking forward to the rest of the week building up to the championships, and if you want to follow me on the build up, then we're going to have a special episode later on in the week with lots of behind the scenes and a show around Keeneland, as well as lots of familiar faces. But as ever, you can always head to our website breederscup.com/challenge for any information leading up ahead of race day. See you next time.